Sue Sims, and we are back with more London Detective Mysteria, and I have no idea what the hell happened in the last. All right, we solved the mystery of our missing teacher, but he wasn't missing, and I think that's where we ended the last part. The thing about doing this every other day is it's nice for me. I have time to do other stuff, and I don't have to be like, oh my god. The bad thing is I don't have to record every day, and even if I do just record a part every day, like I didn't record anything yesterday. I got a lot of I went through a lot of shit in my house, and I wasn't almost going to record today because I feel like death. So, that being said, I feel like I'm going to sneeze right now, and I haven't for like an hour or two since I've been home. I'm like, okay, we've been fine. We're okay. Like my nose hurts. I feel like death, but we'll be okay. We're not going to like sneeze, and we're not blowing our nose constantly. But the second I put my headset on, my brain is like, fuck this. I swear to God, maybe it's like the pressure in my ears, like with my head, like I don't know. Like my brain is like, no, I'm being squeezed out the nostrils now. I don't know. Whatever. I'm gonna do my best to not die while we record this. Um, so if I feel the need to sniffle, I will try to like mute the microphone because I know that drives people crazy and it drives me crazy. Like just okay. I watch my favorite thing when I have allergy problems is like I used to work at my old job forever ago, ages and ages ago. And there was a woman who would just, you could know, she would get so much, be like, ah, Jesus Christ. She would just get so annoyed, like you could just hear her verbally, like an aisle or two over when I sneezed. And I'm like, listen, bitch, first of all, I understand that it's annoying to hear people sneeze all the time and blow their nose and sniffle. But I'm going to tell you something. It is nowhere near as bad for you as it is for me. Okay? Because, like, I think I'm going to die. like, And I know I could just not record, but then it's like, but then I'm just sitting there doing nothing, and I feel like I'm okay enough. But then the second I put my headset on, it's like, are you recording? Now you have to sneeze. Now your nose is gonna run. Now you need to sniffle, and now it's gonna suck. Like, fuck my life. But we'll try to get through a part or two. Um, and if I feel like I can't, then we just won't. And I'm enough ahead that it'll be okay. We're doing this every other day, so it's not like I'm behind or like, oh god. But these are the reasons why I also like this every other day thing, but it might go at this point, we might be at every day now. I don't know. Um, we'll see now that all the other games have kind of finished up, except for Code Realize Wintertime Miracles. That has not come out yet, but when I'm recording this one, but it will be out probably by the time this episode goes up. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just doing what I can do. Anyway, so we were somewhere. I think we were investigating Mr. Mackenzie's disappearance, but he didn't disappear. Oh, but he's so happy. All my students love me. That's not his voice, and I don't know what. I can't until I see him. I don't know. Anyway. Pendleton was the first to greet me upon my return. If there are random pauses of silence, it's because allergy issues. Anyway. I see you've had quite the fulfilling day, my lady. What a sneaky smile. The man was up to no good. We can only wish. Truly, what makes you think that? You appear exhausted, but at the same time, it's as though something wonderful happened that made it all worthwhile. Like one of my lectures and Christmas came at once. I love his snark. I take issue with your comparison, but it does work. I'm a bit exhausted, yes, but it feels like the first time we've all come together to achieve something grand. If I think of it like that, it was rather fulfilling. Hee hee. Sorry. That was so half-assed. You now look over the moon with joy, to where you've lost your mind above the clouds, whilst your body stands blissfully vacant on earth. Bother your lack of manners. I'll have you know that I'm always mindful. Are you? Pendleton is my hero. Pendleton is my motherfucking hero. I love him so much. This game could be goddamn awful, and I would be like, it's worth it just for Pendleton. It really fucking is. This game is really good, though. But, you know my thoughts on this. But, I mean, if this game were like, God, this game is awful, and the translation was shit, and everything was a slot, He would be worth it. He's fucking worth it. But, like, I don't know if he was just as sassy and snarky in the Japanese and they just are really good at translating it, or they just gave him a little extra. I don't know. But props to everyone involved with fucking Pendleton. I mean, seriously. As I started to wonder whether I might have bordered on being overconfident, Pendleton's still no good grin grew especially devilish. Should that be true, then you won't have any problem with me testing so. Now, I intend to storm upon your bed whilst you sleep tonight. I trust I have your consent. Yes? My answer is, you're going to storm upon my bed and you want my consent? Yes? Do you want a signed waiver? Because, Pendleton, please, storm upon my bedroom. What? In case you haven't been here before and this is your first time watching this. I don't know why you're starting here, but also I love Pendleton, so shock. I nearly lost my footing from how sharply my heart thumped. I know I sniffled, I'm sorry. You will what? Of course you don't have my consent. Shh, Spacey. Spacey, yes he does. Shh. Here, wait. Pendleton, you can do whatever you want to me. You know what it takes to wake me up once I've fallen asleep, and it's no small effort. And I dare say that that isn't something to say to a lady on any given occasion. I spoke in jest, but I do hope it serves as a cautionary tale, should you continue to aggrandize your impeccable guard before others. There is fearless, and then there is folly. You're absolutely unbelievable. You're an extraordinary butler, but you aren't half that as a man. Oh, he is like all that as a man. I'm sorry. I'm honored you think so highly of me as a butler, my lady. Oh, yes. With nothing more to be said, I twisted my heel and prepared for a pleasant evening at home. Well, you ruined my evening. My evening would have been a lot more pleasant if, Pendleton had stormed into my room. Oh, why are you going to ruin things for me? Anyway. Detective's Medal, a reward for demonstrating intelligent, well-reasoned logic in the solving of cases. Aha, we didn't get a choice on what to do. Oh, hold on. While this is loading. That would seem like a very short chapter. A gathering in shambles. Hold on. I'm sorry. I had to grab my tissues because you know that, again, like I said, have not blown my nose in fucking forever, but hold. Apparently I just need to run around and talk to myself in my apartment and then, anyway. Once again, the morning was beautiful. Once again, the sky was clear as could be. It was the most perfect day one could dream for a picnic. So I'm guessing we're going on a picnic. Here's your lunch, my lady. Thank you. This is awfully suspect. How come you've given me 2 massive baskets worth? Well, you're a growing young lady. The way I see it, there's no harm in you enjoying a filling lunch from time to time. Why are you buttering me up? And I can certainly see myself enjoying this, but were I to eat it all, I can't help but think... You are gathering with your schoolmates in Hyde Park for an extracurricular picnic, are you not? I thought it wise to make enough for you to share. Oh, how thoughtful of you! Yes, I'm certain we can go through this much food in no time at all if we share it. I only ask that you not gorge on it all yourself. Not that you would ever dream of such a thing, of course. Yes, of course! She's like, fuck, I don't eat this whole shit. Who do you take me for? Now let's be going. I'm surprised he hasn't started oinking at her. I mean, seriously, he's so fucking cold about it. You're getting fat. She's like, shut up, jerk. Love it. We set off in the carriage, and after some familiar swaying to and fro inside, I arrived at Hyde Park at a prompt 11 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't the first to arrive, however. My schoolmates appeared to have already started in on the fun. Oh, I can see Holmes and Watson over there. You're late, Miss Whitley. A fine morning, isn't it? I haven't counted the minutes till you arrived. Good morning, Watson, though I can't help but notice you seem bothered. Well, you see, a bit of trouble followed us out of Baker Street. Trouble, you say? I knew it when he said a bit of trouble followed us out of Baker Street. And I'm like, it's what's her face, isn't it? Yeah, okay.
Excuse me? That's not the proper way to speak of the sweet soul who
Slaved away hours preparing your lunch. I can't read this game. You know I can't read. And then, like, this game is just, like, so wordy. And I'm like, I can't. Good day. Spacey can't. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Anyway. Hudson, what brings you here? Why? I just like being annoyed by her. It's fun.
Hello, Spacey. I'm your assistant, so naturally I made your lunch for today's picnic.
The moment she laid eyes on me, she was more than content to dash over and cling to me as a child with their mother. Sorry, Hudson. I have Pendleton, and you'll never outwoman Pendleton. I told her this was part of the Academy's studies. Would she listen? Not a word. No matter how many times I asked her to stay home. Worse still, she threatened to withhold our own lunches if we refused to take her with us. Their reactions to the situation couldn't have looked any different. Holmes and Watson were sullen, whilst Hudson bounced up and down, positively radiant.
I had so wanted you to try my food, Spacey.
Will you? You're gonna poison me, aren't you? Come on, no. Pendleton's the one who poisoned us. I'll try, but I've brought plenty of delicious morsels of my own, see?
My, you can certainly see why I play second fiddle between us. What a delightful spread. All right, class, can you hear me? If you can, please gather round.
We're amongst those who could, in fact, hear him, though we were a fair distance away. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We did as instructed and hurried over to him as quickly as we could. He was quick to notice someone, was out of place.
Why do I only see two faces? And who might you be, young lady? I'm Spacey's assistant. I am also charged with looking after Holmes and Watson, so I've brought their lunch. I see. It's quite a pressing responsibility for one so young. You appear a fair bit more reliable than them as well, seeing as they couldn't follow my simple enough instructions. Oh, I'm a much more capable assistant than Watson. I can promise you that much. Well, this is rather disappointing.
I surveyed the surroundings. That's Marple over there, isn't it? And of course she's brought some tea. Who else? With expert delicacy, she held a teacup in one hand and was pouring with the other. Holmes, who had been with me only moments before, was deathly focused on the ground through a magnifying lens. Watson was nowhere to be seen. Like, they're like fucking like puppies. Like, he's like, all right, we're here for the where the fuck did everyone's like just running around doing whatever. Like, have you never been outside before? Lupin had fallen fast asleep whilst leaning against a tree. Kobayashi and Akechi were lazing about on the grass. I'm surprised that Akechi wasn't like right here, like, what do you want me to do? I'll do whatever you say. Like, and since he was somewhat hidden by the trees, I spotted Jack last. He seemed to be in deep thought. The entire class is behaving as if they're on holiday. Even Akechi seems to have dismissed the rules in favor of basking in the sun. Oh, goodness! And now I've lost Hudson.
Come back, pretty butterfly! Come back!
Lord, oh, Lord!
I see we've a problem on our hands. We may be at the park for a picnic, but this is still a part of your studies. Although I see now no one is content to treat it as such.
It's also a perfect opportunity to enjoy something together. As these stand, our class only seems inclined to work as one when there's a case that needs solving.
Perhaps the easiest way to sort this out would be to create one then. The Hyde Park Murders has a nice ring to it.
It does not! You can't kill people on a whim to make your students behave! Wait, why do you have that knife?
Not to worry. It's to peel the apples I brought for dessert. I have no secret desire to murder my students. In fact, I urge you to perish the thought, although your skeleton is probably beautiful.
I'm sorry. You watch me play Nameless. You understand that. Because I'm giving it up, but he just so makes me... Oh, God. He's got a twin brother that has a fucking skeleton girlfriend, is all I'm saying. Like, as he said that, I know, totally different time periods, but still, as he said that, Mr. Mackenzie grasped the knife with shaking hands. The sight alone was enough to send my mind to wild places and make my heart rate spike. I understand, sir. So please, calm down and put the knife away. I'll go and gather everyone up, so stay here, please.
Oh, thank you, Miss Whitley. You're my only hope. Save me, Obi-Wan. You're my only hope.
Sir, please, put it away! That sounds inappropriate.
Oops, forgive me. Slip of the hand, really.
Having agreed to do so, I set off to go and gather up my schoolmates before any of them ended up dead. Now, who shall I speak with first? Everyone's so split up, I don't think it matters one way or the other. This is going to give us points with the person, so we're going for Holmes. Who shall I invite? We're going to go to Holmes because we're trying to get lovey points with him, so we're going to go to him. I think I'll see Holmes. We're trying to get him first. Again, I just said that 6 times, but... I wouldn't have expected to find Holmes here. Is he looking at bugs with that magnifying lens? Perhaps I should... watch what he's doing? He's so focused that it just wouldn't be right to disturb him. I thought it better to stand back and watch him instead. He must have noticed my standing there at some point, because to my surprise, he chose to start a conversation of his own volition. Have you some business, Miss Whitley? I do, as it so happens. It's not often we have the whole class together outside like this. Would you like to help get everything ready and join us? Oh? I hadn't realized it was so late already. He stood up without so much as a single complaint. Are you finished observing the insects? I am. The last thing I need is you staring at me any longer. I wasn't going to keep at it forever. I mean, I could. Especially if you make that face at me. That's a cute face. I like that. Well, let's be going. With nowhere to be said, he began walking to the gathering spot. Did I not get points with him for that? Huh. What does that mean? I'm confused. What is that, like... Huh. I don't know. Is that... Anyway. Well then, it's time to go invite someone else. Okay, so we go to everyone. Okay, so I then set off to see who else was hungry. Who shall I invite? We already did Holmes. All right, we'll just go down the list then. Holmes and Watson are so often together. I wonder where Holmes's other half has gotten to. Oh. I wonder if you do the... That said okay. I wonder if you pick the wrong thing if they don't go and you have to... You know what I mean? Oh, shit. As I continued to survey the area, I heard a rustling from above my head. I glanced upwards, expecting nothing in particular. It's Watson in a tree. Except there was most certainly a particular something to be found. Watson was propped against the tree, looking far out into the distance. What could he be doing up there? I wonder if I should... I don't think we should call out to him. I want to climb up... No, just watch him. I don't want to... I want to climb up the fucking tree, but I feel like that's not ladylike and that would be bad. I decided to watch and see what he was doing, and I feel like calling out to him while he's in a tree would be a bad thing. Well, what could he be up to all the way up there? I don't want him to fall and die. As he was admiring the day, a tiny bird landed atop his head. He's such a fucking Disney princess. Then another. Then another. Before long, his shoulders and head were covered in the darlings. Animals really were charmed by him, weren't they? Do you want some more? Here. He had a little something in his hands to feed them with, and they tweeted sweet nothings and thank yous as they partook. Now, there's plenty for all. No sense in getting greedy. His jellyfish hair is bizarre. Okay, like when it's like this, it looks perfectly fine, but then when it's like flying all out all over the place, it's, you know, it's got that weird jellyfish mullet thing going on. But every single time he's like being a Disney princess, I'm like, oh my god, it's so cute. Like, I don't know. I don't know why like, it's like, oh, shit, something wrong with me. They just love you, Watson. Look at them all. Huh? Spacey. Much to my dismay, him noticing me was enough to cause them all to flutter away. Oh no, I'm sorry. I hadn't meant to scare them off. It's all right. And down I come. Watson then jumped out of the tree and landed deftly on his feet. Nothing's wrong, is there? Not at all. I was thinking that if we're all here for a picnic, it would be lovely if we could eat together. You came all the way here to invite me? Thanks! My timing appeared to be rather apt, too. Right then, Watson's stomach let out a rather uproarious growl. Ugh, the thought of food alone is making me hungry. And no good comes from ignoring your stomach. I must gather everyone else, too. Would you mind going ahead and waiting for me there? Okay. So I guess, I don't know, I don't know if it matters what we choose. Not at all. See you in a bit then. So I'm worried now. We parted ways and I went on to look for the next person to invite. Let's go to Marple. Oh, fuck, I don't know what to do. Now I feel like we need the guide. I thought the person you went to talk to would be the person you get levy points with, but I guess not. We came here together and now look at her. She's run off and started drinking tea on her own. True to Marple's preparedness, she had made herself plenty comfortable on the grass and was idly sipping from her cup. I think I'll quietly sit down next to her? I quietly took a seat next to Marple. With a small breeze came a delightful fragrance wafting toward me from her teacup. Your tea's bright orange, and its fragrance reminds me of Gallet, perhaps? I don't know if that's how I say it.
Why, you're absolutely right. You know of it.
Both its coloring and the floral fragrance are unmistakable.
I am impressed, Spacey. I presume you learned as much from Pendleton.
Indeed, he serves me multiple kinds of tea every single day.
Spoken like a true noblewoman. And now, was there something you wanted to say to me?
I was hoping to ask if you would join us all for lunch. We came all this way for a picnic, and it'd be a shame not to enjoy it together, yes?
I agree, but I'll be along later. I still some of my tea left, and I should like to savor it in private.
Very well. I know better than to get between Marple and her tea.
Thank you. I'll see you in a bit.
I left her to enjoy herself and surveyed the area for anyone else who might wish to join. Okay, so we did not get her. Okay. Who shall I invite? Okay, so we didn't get Marple. I don't know what this means. Kick him. I can't help but wonder if he's really asleep. Curious as could be, I strolled over to where he was sitting to inspect the scene. Upon taking a closer look, he certainly appeared as though he was fast asleep. His eyes were closed, his breathing was light, and he was quite comfortably leaning against the tree. There was also a book next to him. He likely fell asleep whilst reading it. What if I were to play a practical joke on him? Take a closer look at the book? I grew more curious still and peeked at the book's title. I mean, I don't... Now, what genre would I read if I were Lupin? An Eternal Oath? It wasn't anything I'd ever heard of. What could this be about? I reached out to pick it up, careful not to wake Lupin in the process. He's got his hand on it, so I'll need to move that to get access to it. But upon touching his hand... Oh!
Huh? Miss Whitley, what are you...
He seemed to be half asleep with how he mumbled the question, but as it registered to him that our hands were touching, he suddenly became very alert indeed.
What? What is this?
Lupin was flustered to an impressive degree, with his face growing several shades of red. I think I fucked up.
Well, why are you touching my hand? I'm not used to... At least do it when I'm awake. I'd prefer if I could ease myself into it.
Calm down, Lupin, please. I wasn't trying to hold your hand as such. I slugged my hand behind my back with a start and found myself becoming equally embarrassed. Oh, dear God. Okay. I was curious what book you were reading.
Oh, is that it?
I hadn't meant to startle you, truly. I feel just awful.
But please don't. I'm at fault for a misunderstanding.
Not fully awake, he adjusted his crooked spectacles back in their proper place.
Was that all? Nothing else?
Oh, no, it wasn't. I nearly forgot why I came here. How would you like to join us for lunch? You'd be more than welcome. I'm just like... I'm curious as to what happens if we don't get everybody. Anyway.
Well, I'd very much like to. I think I need a bit more time to calm down first. My heart is still pounding.
Oh, of course. Come along as soon as you're ready, all right? Fuck, well, I got Holmes and Watson. I then set off to invite someone else. Fuck. Who shall I invite? Someone else. Okay, we'll go to Hudson. I thought it would be best to find Hudson now. Since I'd been with her till not long before, I suspected she couldn't have gone far. Hold on. My assumption was, thankfully, on the mark. I found her admiring Mr. Mackenzie's tea set.
What a sight! I've never seen a plate with a design so beautiful before. You're really a fine eye for tableware,
Sir, she's already here. Why do I need to gather her? Hudson's eyes were sparkling with adoration. Would she mind if I joined in on the fun? Because she loves plates, and joining her would be good? Hudson's excitement had always been particularly infectious, and her excitement at the present time was no exception. I found myself eager to join in. You really do love looking at furniture and tableware, don't you?
Why, hello again, Spacey. Come, have a look. Pretty tableware and furniture shines like jewels.
My smile was easy. How couldn't it be when she was so happy? Listen, Hudson, seeing as we're here, would you like to come and have lunch with everyone?
Oh, absolutely. I'm your assistant. Joining you is my duty. Let's be going straight away.
Pardon, Hudson, but I must go and gather everyone else first. Is it all right if you wait there a bit?
Shall I come with you? It would be faster than working alone.
But wouldn't we all eat faster if someone were there to prepare the spread first?
That it would. Don't you worry. Leave it all to me.
Thank you. She skipped away, and I returned to my task of inviting everyone else. Okay, so I fucked this up. Like, I don't know if we're gonna have to do this again or what. Let's go for Akechi. Shit, I don't know what I'm supposed to say to him. Akechi was with Kobayashi when I last checked. I surveyed the park and quickly spotted him still leisurely sitting along the grass. As I began to draw closer, however, Kobayashi met eyes with mine and put his finger on his lips. Is it alright if he rests some more? It's not every day he relaxes like this. So I'm sure he's built up exhaustion, something fierce. Oh. He'd somehow managed to fall asleep sitting up, his knees hunched chest high. But even tired as he was, he still had his katana propped against his shoulder, as if he were well on his guard. I'd like to get the tour of the park, so stay with him. If you don't mind, that is. Without waiting for an answer, up he went and disappeared. Oh, Kobayashi! Oh, well. Since I'm here, I think I'll... Shit, Just watch him sleep? Shit. Fuck, I didn't... Fuck! Hold on, can I... Wait. I wanted to... I was gonna... No, I don't... Hold on. Yes. I don't want to sit down next to him. I think we should just watch him sleep. Although sit down next to him might have been better. Fuck. All right. This is what I was trying to go for, but I was like, I don't know what to do. Anyway. I peered at Akechi's face. He must be awfully exhausted. I didn't really want to wake him up when he was sleeping so soundly, but I also thought it would be a shame to leave him out of all of the fun. Oh. As I was wondering what to do, his eyes opened, and with me being the first thing, he noticed. Good day, Akechi. Miss Whitley. He did seem surprised, but only briefly. Do you have some business with me? It's a bit difficult to remain composed when you're staring so keenly. And I can't help but feel that you're unusually close. I beg your pardon. This is quite normal in the West, isn't it? Your face is concerningly red. Do you have a fever? Apparently intent on finding an answer, he reached out his hand and felt my cheek. My lord! Is he still half asleep? She's clutching her pearls. I wanted to invite you to something. Oh, to what, may I ask? The question was accompanied by an inquiring expression. You may, of course. How would you like to join everyone for lunch? It's the first time we've had a chance to do so, and I think we ought to make the most of it. This might not be bad. Do I have the right to refuse? Does that mean you wouldn't like to, then? I hadn't expected his response. He was so blunt in his rejection, I was certain the sadness showed. I'd so been looking forward to eating together. All right, I'll go. So please, don't look at me with that lonely expression. I've no idea how to react to such a face. With some discomfort, he stood. You will? Ah, bless you. Still, how are you feeling? Are you not tired? Not to worry. I've had plenty of rest. And if I were to stay here, I could find myself waking up to those eyes again. I'd rather something so unsightly not happen a second time. It sounds all like, I'd wake up to those eyes again. You mean the giant, creepy saucer eyes? He goes, unsightly. Thank you. Like, what was unsightly? Oh, perhaps you meant how you look while sleeping. I never thought such a thing. I found your face quite pretty, if I'm honest. Pretty is not ordinarily a word one uses to describe a man, I believe. And that wasn't quite to what I was referring. You're calling me unsightly? That's rude. Oh? No, it matters not. Shall we go have lunch now? But you see, I must go and collect everyone else first. Will you go on ahead? Very well, I will. Thank you, I won't be long. We parted ways and I went on to look for the next person to invite. Okay, so I've messed up 2 people. We got to get a Kobayashi, and Jack is not in this list. Interesting. Okay, so I've only messed up 2. Kobayashi was lazing around next to a Keiichi not long ago. I wonder if he's still there. I surveyed the park and quickly spotted him in the exact spot he was before.
Right, so if I tweak it like this...
What are you doing, Kobayashi?
Oh, Spacey, I'm tinkering with a little invention of mine.
Oh? You must be quite dexterous. It was the first time I had seen him this way. I sensed he always smiled when playing with machinery. What if I were to ask him to show me his invention? I had to wonder about the line of inventions before me, and one in particular stood out better than the rest. Kobayashi, what might this be?
Hey, it's my all-purpose telescope. Here, have a look.
I leaned forward and peered into the end of the tube before me. Oh my! At the end of the cylinder, I could see Holmes looking stern as ever.
And then if you adjust it like this...
I heard a light clicking sound, and then the scenery at the end of the tube changed. I moved the tube just slightly. Oh, I can see Watson! My field of vision had been filled with the assistant's absent-minded gaze. He felt so close when looking through the telescope, but it was only upon looking away from it that I noticed how far he happened to be. What are your other inventions like?
How about this?
Kobayashi presented something new, and another, and one more after that. Thank you very much for showing me. This is all so interesting.
Isn't it just? If I can, I'd like to show you a bit more thoroughly, and I can always find time for you.
What a gentleman. Consider it done. All right, I'll see you again in a bit.
All right, till next time.
We didn't... I waved goodbye to him before trotting off, so we didn't ask him to... Okay. It hadn't taken long for it to occur to me. That wasn't what I intended to do. At all. Oops! I was meant to be asking him to join us all for lunch. Okay. I got so caught up in all he was showing that I lost track of everything. Worse still, he was no longer anywhere to be seen. Dash it all. I'll have to ask later. Who shall I invite? Okay, so I fucked up. Okay, hold on. Let's just go back. We got to go back to Lupin because I guess we have to keep going. Okay. Okay, what if I were to... Okay, we already did take a... Play a practical joke on him? I feel like this is mean, but like... I'm not doing good with guessing, so as I approached, Lupin hadn't even twitched. He was certainly in a deep sleep and utterly defenseless. I feel like this is the wrong thing to do, but I kind of just want to see what happens. The mischievous little devil in me couldn't resist rearing its head before a face so angelic. He won't be too mad if I play a little prank, will he? We know who he is, so it's kind of funny. His skin is so beautiful. I placed a hand along his cheek. Skin so beautiful was as smooth as I expected it to be. It felt much like tracing my fingers along spider silk. Okay, this is getting a little, wow, girl. I'm not certain how I'm supposed to feel when a boy's skin is this lovely. I went to pinch his cheeks, conscious to show the same tenderness a mother cat might have carrying her children at the nape. That didn't work. He did stir ever so lightly as if I'd been tickling him, but he showed no signs of waking, or he's fucking with us. As I stared, scrutinizing every little detail of his features, a considerably less devilish thought came to mind. Oh, this is so adorably cute. I love this. Oh. She doesn't look, I mean, she's still got derpy, stupid eyes, but it's not as annoying and creepy and weird. But she does have the jellyfish hair. Like, it's short all the way around, but then it's long underneath. Like, what is the deal with that? I've never actually seen him without his spectacles on, have I? Oh, God, don't do it. No, you can't ruin this. You can't ruin it now. My curiosity will never cease at this rate. The temptation was too much now that it was in my head. I took the bait splendidly. If none of what I've done so far has worked, taking off his spectacles won't either. Oh, it will. I edged much closer to him as my fingers slithered up from his cheeks to the rim of his spectacles. Oh, he's gonna... Don't wake up. Please, don't wake up. And yet the second my hands had touched them... Yeah, because he's like, what the fuck? It's the Clark Kent fucking Superman phenomenon. She'd take it off and be like... I mean, his hair's a little more like crazy when he's Lupin and not lupine or whatever. I don't know. Oops. Lupin's eyelids slowly lifted. Somebody's probably been telling me it's lupine. We're supposed to say it that way, but Lupine? John Lupine. We have to make him like, well, that sounds French. I can't do an Italian accent. I don't know. Miss Willie? Lupin. We shared a quiet intimacy. I could feel his breath as he whispered my name, and then... Look at him. Ah! What are you doing? His hands flew to his spectacles to hold them at such speed that I hadn't the time to blink. I'm terribly sorry. I found myself wondering how you'd look without spectacles, so then Whatever you were thinking, I think my heart's nearly stopped with you this close. Lupin's face was red as could be. Mine wasn't much different. You know what I find adorable is like every single thing you do to Lupin in this whole thing is just so awkward and adorable. Like you're holding his hand, you're taking his glasses off, but you're in his face. It's like, ah. Oh, it's so intimate and adorable. And I'm terribly short-sighted, so taking off my spectacles would be quite frightening, if you must know. They would make me who I am. Without them, I dare say there wouldn't be much left. I'm certain there would be plenty left, Lupin. Yes, just a whole different personality. Lupin continued to plead to keep them on. As he did, I had an off feeling, as if he were edging even closer to me. That's me. I hope you'll forgive me. I had no idea they were so important. Oh, he looks angry. Oh, it's cute when he's angry. Yes, they are. So please don't take them. He was equal parts serious in his expression and genuine in his words. I nodded. And never again. Across my heart and hope to die. But, is something wrong? Well, this time, you were the one awfully close. I didn't mean it. Lupin, if you move backwards so quickly, you'll... Yeah! I love him so much. I love him so much because he's got full personality. He's like the awkward fucking nerd. And he takes his glasses off and he's like, well, hello. Hi. Do you want to make out with me, baby? He's like the man whore. I love it so much. I don't know. He fell to the ground with a predictable, prominent smack. Lupin, are you hurt? Ow. I'm alright. A bit late to ask this, I suppose. Did you have some business with me, Miss Whitley? Yes, as a matter of fact, I did. I wanted to ask you if you'd like to come enjoy a picnic with everyone. You'd like for me to join? But I was hoping to nap for a bit longer. It's not often we have a chance like this. Shouldn't we make the most of it? Or am I perhaps being selfish? But please don't look at me with those sad eyes. I'll join you. I wasn't against the idea, really. Truly? Oh, thank you. I'm not sure what I would have done had you honestly refused.
I would never refuse a request from a lady. In fact, thank you very kindly for inviting me.
I do apologize, but I must gather everyone else, too. Would you mind going ahead and waiting for me there?
I don't mind at all. I have my book to read until then.
Excellent. I'm off. We parted ways and I went on to look for the next person to invite. Okay, so I think Marple. Well, okay, Marple, and then Kobayashi, right? I think I'll call out. We sat quietly next to her, right? I'll call out to her then instead of surprising her. Because I don't think she'd appreciate that. I was about to call out to her, but a thought occurred to me. Okay. If I simply ask her to join us, she might well say no. I know. I'm the perfect way to go about this. Marple, do you have a moment?
Hello, Spacey. I do, but please make it brief.
We came all this way to have a picnic, so why not come and eat with everyone?
My apologies, but I'll pass for the moment. I'd like to finish this book today. I'm rather anxious to find out what happens next, you see.
I thought she'd say that. And here's where I go in for the attack. That's a right shame. I think you would like the food we have on display. It looks absolutely divine. There's even some of your very favorite maids of honor, if I remember rightly.
Oh? Is there now?
It's working. One more push. Yes. We also have some tea imported just yesterday from India that I'd love for you to try. First flush, you know. Marple closed her book with an impressive clap. Stood.
Let us be off at once, Spacey. I must sample this tea before it loses its fragrance.
Marple stood up and I stood next to her. I must gather everyone else, too. Would you mind going ahead and waiting for me there?
All right. Good luck, then. I'll be waiting.
We parted ways and I went on to look for the next person to invite. Okay, so now Kobayashi. All right, so we got... All right, I guess we're not going to worry about Jack. What if I were to simply tell him why I'm here? Curious as I was about his inventions, I thought it best to tell him why I had approached him first. We went for the hang out with him and be cool with him. Now it's like, I'm here, get over there. I don't know. Well, I was thinking we could all have lunch together, so I came to invite you. Would you be interested? I wasn't certain why, but his initial response seemed to be bewilderment. But rather quickly, he gave me a great big smile and nodded with fervor. Would I? Of course I would. And thanks, Spacey. Not at all. We'll be waiting for you then. I'll join the moment I can. I waved to him with a great big smile of my own before leaving. Yes! Oh, I haven't asked Jack to come and join us yet. Oh, fuck. Everyone agreed to join, which, by the way, I would have just kept going through the circle if they hadn't, so. Seeing as he was the last one, I went to invite Jack. It took 43 minutes to get everyone, though, so I'm just saying. That could have taken an hour. He was crouched over a distance away from everyone, arms wrapped around his ankles. I slowly approached him. I think I'll go and silently take his hand. I think we should call out to him. I don't think taking his hand sounds like a good idea. I decided to call out to him. This might be bad. Hello, Jack. Are you enjoying yourself? Jack? What do you want? Well, we're all about to have lunch together, and I'd love to invite you to come along, too. I'm all right. Besides, I didn't bring no lunch, and I reckon I won't like the noise. He returned to his previous position, as if I had never spoken to him. Should you decide you don't want to be with us, you can surely leave any time. But why not give it a try? And I promise, you needn't fret over food. I've brought enough for everyone. It's no bother. None whatsoever. Well, come! Wait, don't pull! I'm not great with his accent, but it's okay. Then his hand in mine, we hurried over to where the rest of our friends were waiting. I wonder if you touched his hand, you would have gotten, like, love points with him. I don't know. As we were the last to arrive and the weather was still beaming, lunch was soon to begin. All right, please have your fill. Oh! Oh! I love this! Oh! Look, everybody's here! All our boyfriendos and girlfriendos! Okay, there's no path with Hudson at all. And, like, Kobayashi and Marple are charmed endings, so I don't know if there's, like, romancy or it's just, like, best friends hanging out together or what, but still. Oh, he's so pretty. Look at him. He's so pretty. He actually is really hot right here, too, and he's kind of adorable. Poor fucking Lupin. Jack doesn't look too bad. He's got giant saucer eyes. He's the lolly boy. Marple actually looks really pretty. And she looks just as annoying as ever. But I love her anyway. She's like the irritating character. Like, she's kind of annoying, but I kind of like her. But she's still kind of annoying, but I kind of like her. I like all of them. Like, I don't think there's one that I'm like, ugh, this character. Even Jack, for fuck's sake. He's like a murderer. And you're like, well, I mean, okay. We think he's murdering people, but maybe he's actually not. I don't know. We'll just give him the benefit. But even if he is, you're like, oh well. My husband's a murderer. What ups, guys? One by one, I'd taken out the lunch boxes from the basket Pendleton had prepared for me. There's more than enough, Jack. I'll need you to eat as much as you can stomach. A typically cold response, but he didn't leave, which I considered enough of a success. As for you, Marple, here's the maids of honor you were promised. They're in here, so eat as many as you like. And they look splendid. Seemingly impressed, she happily helped herself.
I'd love it if you would try mine as well. I put my whole heart into making them.
Oh, thank you. It would be my pleasure. And of course, the two of you are welcome to try whatever catches your eye. How about these?
You know how to make
Tamagoyaki. I had to pause for a second.
You know how to make tamagoyaki?
And they're very different in shape to the ones we know. They're called omelets. What's a tamagoyaki? It's a dish made by then cooking eggs before rolling them into a rectangular shape. In Japan, eggs are a staple of the rich and wealthy. So's being fat back in the day. Woo! If you chubby and you have eggs in your fridge, you're a motherfucking rich bitch. I mean, that was back in the Greek and Roman days, I'm just saying, because you could afford to eat. Also, lobster was for poor people. Lobster, that's the gutter trash that eats the garbage off the bottom of the sea. And now it's like, you gotta be rich to eat lobster, yo. Shit just flips really drastically, doesn't it? It's crazy. Anyway. And they are not a food common people partake in every day. That's sad. I mean, maybe back in the day. I would think now like chickens, man. This is... I don't know. Is that so? Oh, he's like, I'm poor. I can't afford eggs. Oh, it makes me feel so bad for him. You were like, oh, flaunting I'm a rich bitch. Because, I mean, she is a rich bitch. That's all I'm saying. Like, Anyway.
Oh, let's try some, Akechi.
Calm yourself. There's no need to rush. The eggs aren't going to flee the table if you don't eat them this instant.
Thanks, Spacey.
I shall try some as well. Well, what do you think? I think he's happy he's got crumbs on his face.
Delicious! I love the fluffy texture. First the custard tart, now this.
I agree. The seasoning is just the right strength, I might add. The accompanying sauce complements the dish nicely. That's called ketchup. I don't think they had ketchup back in the day. I don't know. When was ketchup invented? Interesting. Anyway, Pendleton's cooking had found itself 2 more fans. It's Pendleton, for fuck's sake. He's a master. I'm so pleased you like them. There's a whole other range of things to sample now, so please, sample away.
I would love to.
There's a mountain of food. It's disrespectful not to eat all you've been offered. Jack, meanwhile, had been nibbling his way through a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. I'm so glad he's eating with us after all. Lupin, who was sitting opposite of me, had taken to sighing whilst opening and closing his lunchbox. You aren't going to eat, Lupin?
I will, but you see...
Something wrong. Watson made to peer at what was inside.
Don't do that, Watson!
The only time I will ever, willingly, not... Okay. For Spacey Whitley, I will eek, because she's an eeker. And for Lupin, I will fucking eek, because he's an eeker. Everybody, but everyone is always, eek! No. What the fuck? Even our female heroines don't eek. She does. Whitley does. She fucking eeks. Lupin sure as shit eeks. Part of his character and a charm, you know? Hiding it like that is just gonna make us all hiding it like that is just gonna make us all the more curious what's in there. We're all detectives, remember? I'm relatively certain you're only interested in the food. It doesn't take a detective to deduce that. Of course I'm interested in the food. And what is it? Watson, quick to ignore protests and eager to discover its contents, leaned over to take the lunchbox. What? Lupin? What? You can't be... What is this? Upon peeking inside, Watson looked as though he were trying to restrain himself from a reaction of some kind. I've never seen a lunch quite like this, to be certain. Well, that is something. I've seen nothing at all. Is it really so unique?
Do you see now why I didn't want anyone to look? You couldn't resist. You're all such ruthless brutes.
He's crying. Beg your pardon. I couldn't help myself, but who, made this?
My dad. He's a true artist.
Really? You have my sympathies. Quite sincerely. Keep your pecker up now. What does that even mean? Oh.
This is rather a special sight.
I can't keep it in any longer. Stop, Watson. I was doing so well. Watson and Kobayashi were clutching their sides in laughter, and everyone else had presented Lupin with their most supportive peers and pouts. Curiosity piqued. I thought to finally see for myself. I need to know. That's so fucking adorable. He's so precious. Oh, I love his character more and more. Especially because now, okay, I know, but I only see this fucking Lupin from fucking Code Realize fucking cooking this shit. That's all I see. Because I mean, seriously, right? Oh my god. I can't. Guys, I can't handle this. I'm gonna need a day. Goodness, it's a heart-shaped Kedgary with your name on it. I don't even know what that is. Lupin himself was colored red with embarrassment, but I was rather colored impressed. I wish these days could go on forever. My quiet whisper disappeared with the wind, heard by and reaching no one. Oh my god. That was fucking amazing. Oh, that was adorable. We went our separate ways after a very satisfying lunch. Shh. What? Stop screaming. The sky, however, saw fit to dull in color rapidly once we were finished. A deep and active gray stirred up above.
The fog appears to be rolling in, class, so it's best we clean up our mess and return for the day.
Everyone went to do as instructed. I hope I can pack everything away quickly enough. Have you still not finished, Miss Whitley? No. Oh, not yet, no. There's more to tidy up than I was expecting. Well, if you need, I can lend you a hand. You're so absent-minded that I should imagine it would take the rest of the day otherwise. That's not a very nice thing to say. My word. Has no one else bothered? Here, I'll take this half. Why, thank you, Holmes. May I ask where Watson is? He's responsible for carrying Miss Hudson's belongings. She brought plenty herself, as you know. Oh my, that's sweet of him. Would you rather he were here? Not at all. Your manners leave something to be desired, but your actions are always golden. You're a fine help. Plus, we're trying to bone you first. Oh, this works. Come now. The moment your mouth opens, your hands stop moving. Pick up the pace. Pardon me. I wanted to ask something. Were you the one who prepared today's Scotch eggs? I was, as it so happens. You have a keen eye for noticing. Bah, they were all different sizes and shapes, far from the work of a professional's. And still you ate them all? For future reference, it was necessary for me to learn your current aptitude for cooking. And I'll say, the appearance needs work, but the taste wasn't so bad. He needs to learn our aptitude for cooking before he decides to marry us, is what he's saying. Well, Holmes, you go right ahead and test your future wife's cooking. Wait. You know what? It's back in the day. It's acceptable. It's fine. Slap me on the ass and tell me I've been a good girl. Wait, no, that's the 50s. Never mind. Sorry, we're not there yet. Good job with the papers, honey. If you could get those notes onto Mr. Smith's desk soon, that'd be great, sweetheart. Yeah, no. But still. Truly? Hearing that makes the effort feel absolutely worth it. Unless you think any different. The appearance of food when it comes to stimulating the appetite is vital. Do not forget that. For some reason, he suddenly issued that warning whilst averting his eyes. That's a little bullshit. Because sometimes when I order pizza, all the cheese is completely fallen off, and it looks like a hot fucking mess, but it still tastes motherfucking delicious! It may look a mess, but it's still delicious. I was right. Even now, it was still actions over words with him. He hadn't changed, but my smile had only grown knowing he ate the food I made. Still, this fog is thickening quickly. Disturbingly so. We best rendezvous with the others before it gets worse. Panicking slightly, I picked up the baskets and began to walk. Don't rush, Miss Whitley. It would be dangerous to walk aimlessly now. I'll go and survey our surroundings. Stay here and wait for me. His silhouette then gradually became more and more difficult to see. We should walk together. Holmes, wait! Sadly, I was much too late. He was gone as though he melted into the mist. I wasn't fond of being alone like this. I could feel an inexpressible sense of nervousness well within myself. Holmes, where are you? Don't go too far. Miss Whitley. I could hear him calling me from far away. Instinctively, I went to run in the direction of his voice. It's not him. It wasn't long before I could finally faintly see what appeared to be a human figure. There you are! Holmes, wait! The figure showed no signs of responding. It's not Holmes. Perhaps he couldn't hear me. I tried to run closer, but against my efforts, the figure slipped further and further away. Wait! My apprehension grew stronger, but standing in place would do nothing. I decided to continue following it. Uh-oh. I was actually thinking with the fog, and he disappears. I'm like, what if Lupin shows up? Not Lupine. After following it for a time, I'd arrived at a crossroad. No matter which direction I looked, however, the silhouette wasn't anywhere to be seen. Where could he have gone? One path led into a back alley from where I could hear voices. The other led to an upward slope from where there was the clap of footsteps. I think I ought to take... Oh, fuck. The slope? I don't know! I can hear footsteps. Someone must be that way. I have no fucking idea. Taking special notice not to trip on the slope ground, I started walking once again. I have no idea what the fuck we were supposed to do. You heard voices, so maybe we should have gone to the voices? I don't know, guys. I'm scared. It wasn't long before the footsteps came to a halt. I thought the location odd, and I narrowed my eyes for visibility's sake to peer farther into the fog. With some success, thankfully, I could, albeit faintly, make out a single individual. Were I to let them scurry off again, my only option would be to stay here alone and wait for the fog to clear, I imagine. I can't let them leave me behind. You don't even know who it is! The figure then sprinted, after which I then took up my skirt and followed them. I don't. Where am I? I wonder if I should have stayed where I was. I can't see anyone anymore. Very close by, I could hear two men having a discussion. It. Who was that? I tried to get a good look at what was going on from the shadows of the alley. It wasn't the clearest picture, but I can make out two men. Here's what you were promised. What are they talking about? I was hiding enough of a distance away from the men that I can only hear parts of their conversation. I desperately strained my ears in hopes of making out more. One of the men took something out of a wooden box at his feet. Why would they be there with fog this dense? Did you? My eyes? No, don't! Colonel Moran! Moran? Colonel Moran! Moran? What? Tension thick as the fog was... I don't know, I was just reading this weird, but I don't know. Stilted momentarily by the sound of someone calling out to a man in a military uniform. Should I leave? This feels as though I'm witnessing something criminal. Am I a fool? I'm in danger if I stay any longer. I must leave. Something was very wrong here. I wanted to wash myself of this before things grew worse, but an underlying fear rooted me to the spot. But what if this is a crime? Is it right to turn my back on it? I hesitated. Then the air had been punctured by the shriek of a bullet. It was so unexpected that my foot hit a wooden crate on the ground next to me. I wasn't in their sights, but the noise made was much too loud for it not to catch their attention. Fuck. Who's there? No, please don't notice me. If you're not going to show yourself, I'll just have to come and find you. Each step moved closer and closer to me. The fog would make finding me a trying task, but that didn't make it impossible. Couldn't hide from him forever. They'll kill me. They're going to kill me. That's when you're... Or scamper. Oh, it's just a cat. I took a wretched deep breath to control my nerves. Shh. Quiet now. I don't know who's saying you're safe. I only ask that you keep still. My breath was held as someone approached me from behind and placed their hand over my mouth. Moments later, I heard what must have been a pebble rolling in a completely different direction. Did they escape? I am assuming it's... I feel like it's Lupin because it doesn't have the accent like Jack, and he followed the sounds of the pebble, his footsteps becoming quieter and quieter. Danger now less so. I began to think of how the gloves I felt and voice behind me were familiar. Try to keep your voice down. They're likely still close by. I nodded to indicate that I understood. I think it's Lupin. Oh no, it's Pendleton. Oh! Well, I was not expecting it to be Pendleton. What the fuck is Pendleton doing here? I figured somebody sneaking up behind us and like, huh, you know. But it's Pendleton. Interesting. All right. Pendleton, why are you here? Seriously, I love you so much. You're always where we need you. Are you sure you're not a demon too? Is your name Sebastian secretly? What? I don't know. Anyway, discussions could come later. For now, we leave with due haste. All right. I was more than willing to let Pendleton lead the way. Okay, we're going to wrap this part up here. So I'm going to stop here and we'll figure it out. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.